Hey guys,
Hey everybody.
today is day 28 of our Halloween movie challenge, and today we watched 28 Weeks Later. Before we get into the movie, as you guys can see, Nikki is back. She's feeling somewhat better, not 100%, but better enough to join us.
I can at least talk. My voice is at least back.
Yep. So, but anyway, so to the movie 28 Weeks Later. This is the sequel to 28 Days Later, and this came out in 2007. It's a little over an hour and a half, um, and I liked the movie.
This is one of my favorite movies.
I thought it was a good movie.
Yep.
Um, the Just a quick summary of it. The very beginning of this movie takes place when the outbreak is like happening, like during the first movie, I believe, and then it jumps ahead to when the outbreak is done, and like the zombies or whatever you want to call them, they're gone. They already died off, and now the United States government, I believe it is trying to bring people back
Yep.
and like repopulate it and have everything kind of return back to normal. Um, and we have a character in the beginning. I believe his name was Don. I believe, right? Let me take a quick look here. But it's him, his wife, and then there's like a few other people in like a stronghold that they have when the outbreak is going on, and then they find a little kid who's banging at the door. They let him in, and then it's right there. It's Don.
Okay.
And then zombies break through. They end up attacking the family. They attack everybody, and Don runs off, abandoning his wife and the little boy. And the it was kind of messed up because he's in like they're in the bedroom, but he's on one side of the room, they're on the other side, and he just closes the door
Yep.
while there's like a bunch, like I don't know, maybe four of those things in there, and he just takes off and leaves the wife and the kid to die.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as he's running through the like field, he even looks back and he can see her in the window, and she gets like attacked. So that was kind of messed up that that happened. Um, the Then he gets on like a little speedboat type thing, and he ends up taking off.
Yep.
So that's what ends up happening. And then you fast forward to, um, I believe it's like, yeah. Oh, actually, it's 28 weeks. I mean, yeah, 28 weeks later,
Mm-hmm.
and it's now everybody's like at this like base. It's like a little section. Uh,
It's like military monitored.
yeah, very heavy military monitor.
Yep.
They bring they already brought one group in. They now brought in a second. They're bringing a second group in. There's two kids.
There's only two children. Andy was the youngest out of all of them.
Yeah, 12.
He's only
I
12.
think he said, and then the sister was a little older. I think she was 16 or 17, and it's Don's kids. So they're upset that the mom died and stuff, but then they like sneak away. They sneak out and they go. They end up finding the mom actually, and she's of course like she's been hiding out in like abandoned places for like 28 weeks, and she's all like her hair's all messed up, and she's not talking very much and stuff like that. The only thing that's kind of confusing is that I don't know how she managed to get away
Mm-hmm.
from that. Like I said, she was in a room with like four of those things. So I'm guessing that the zombies attacked the little kid, and she was able to sneak out that
Yeah.
way. She was bitten, but apparently she's immune to it. Her blood is like immune to the virus.
She can be a. So the way they described it was or explained it is
As a carrier.
she technically is immune,
Yep.
but technically not because she can carry the disease and still spread it.
Yeah, but she can't contract it though.
So like
she
she can't like contract. It's in her blood and her saliva, so it won't affect her, but she can spread it
Yeah, exactly.
through saliva or blood contact.
which is different than the first one. That's kind of a nice little
Yeah.
twist that they put in there. You then have
Funny little description about her, by the way, is her eyes are different colors.
yeah,
One's blue, one's brown.
brown, yeah, and that's how they can kind of tell.
Yep.
So yeah, then they bring her to the base. The father, apologizes to her. He then kisses her, and not knowing, obviously, and then he turns and he kills her. Now, that scene to me bothered me a lot because he screwed her not once but twice. He screwed her the first time when he abandoned her. Then he turns into the zombie and kills her. And I just felt so bad for that character. I was like, dude, this lady can't get a break. Like, her husband totally screwed her twice. And it's just not right. But, I mean, that's how the story went. And then, of course, the outbreak happens again. And they're all in this like base type thing, and they changed so much faster.
So I was just gonna say, my complaint with this movie, I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I even called you when I was at work.
Yeah.
And I was so excited because this is one of my favorite movies. My biggest complaint on this movie is it literally takes like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's literally like from contact in a blink that they're already changing. And that to me is like, I don't know, it bothers me. Maybe there should be a little bit of time. Like, I'm not saying like hours in between, but like give it like a few minutes, like at least like 5 minutes. Like, this was literally in the blink of an eye after he was done kissing her. It was literally like a second. And then all of a sudden he's already changing. He's already like throwing up. He's doing the whole like bleeding. Like, it was just it's too fast for me.
It did happen quick. And even when he got on the speedboat, the guy that was on the boat with him gets pulled underwater.
It's literally
and
like
as soon as
seconds.
he comes back up, he's already the zombie. So yeah, it's too quick. And the other thing is too with this movie is that they do a lot of like the camera quickly like jerks.
Oh my gosh, there was times where I had to look away from the camera.
Yeah, so if you guys, the TV, yeah. So if you're sensitive with that stuff, they do that quite a bit in this one. I wouldn't say it's as bad as Cloverfield. I don't think anything's as bad as Cloverfield when it comes to that.
Cloverfield actually made me sick.
Yeah, that one was rough, but they do it a lot in this one too, where they make the camera jerk around like that to kind of show you the action and stuff.
But like I said, I mean, I love this movie.
Yeah.
I've always liked this movie. It's one of my favorite zombie movies. But that is my biggest complaint, is the same thing with you, is that they turn too fast.
Yeah, it was too much.
I know that it's supposed to be like, it's not like a fully realistic movie because it's zombies, but that's like really, really unrealistic. It's like literally in like the blink of an eye, they're already changing.
Yeah, that's like
he wasn't even done kissing her yet.
Yeah.
And he was already like.
Yeah, and then when it starts spreading through the the base or whatever, it's the same thing. Like one gets bitten or whatever, they get bit. So that's one thing. And this one they actually added the biting more. Whereas in the last one they didn't really add biting, it was just everyone puking blood on everybody. So this one they did add more of the biting. But like they would bite somebody, then get up and go after another person. And as they're getting up to go to the other person, the first person that was bitten is already getting up to bite somebody too. So it's like really, really quick. The army's obviously there. They end up being told just kill everybody. Don't even bother trying to just kill the infected.
Yeah, they said to just exterminate everybody.
Yeah, at first they were just trying to kill the infected, but it was too much, so they just killed everybody. They were just killing everybody. And you have Jeremy Renner in this movie, who's Hawkeye in like the Avengers movies, and he plays like a sniper, and he actually tries helping out, the kids to what they're trying to do is they're trying to get them to a safe spot where they can then airlift the kids out, because they believe that the kids might also have the same blood as the mom. Well, at least the
boy does.
Yeah, we find out that the boy does. We don't know about the girl, but but that's
the boy even has the same eye contrast as the mom, the blue and the brown.
But the sister's name's Tammy and the boy's name's Andy, and them two with Sergeant Doyle, which is Jeremy Renner,
and Scarlett.
And is that her name, Scarlett?
Scarlett, yeah.
okay, so they're the okay, yeah, there she is. So Scarlet, they're the only four, and Scarlet is like a medic, right? A
She's a
sergeant medic.
military medic.
Yeah, and she so the four of them go off. They know that they're gonna end up bombing the little like the island. I mean, the base that they had that they were trying to repopulate. They know that it's gonna get bombed, so they're all trying to get out of there, and they do. They get out of the blast zone, but now they're trying to get to the stadium where there's gonna be a helicopter flown by Flynn, which is the pilot's name, and he is going to get. He's supposed to get the four of them out of there, and obviously it doesn't work out that way. They end up losing Sergeant Doyle. He ends up like there's a part where they're going through the town or the city, and the road starts getting foggy, and it's because the army's dropping like some kind of gas that's killing these things, and then you have guys with flamethrowers coming in, and burning the bodies. They're in a car trying to get away. It won't start, so he gets out, starts pushing the car, and as he's pushing the car, they light him on fire. And
That kind of stinks. I liked his character.
yeah, and I'm assuming that they did it because he wasn't following protocol, because you can clearly see he was a soldier. He was wearing the attire. He was talking, so it's not like he was screaming like with blood and everything, and he wasn't like attacking. So I'm assuming they just killed him because he wasn't following protocol. But he ends up so the car ends up going, and then that's when they make it to the stadium, right? Or like the parking garage of the stadium, right? Something like that.
Yes, it was the parking garage.
Yeah, because it's dark,
Yep.
and they're trying to make it through. One thing I didn't like though is that they made the father when he turned into the zombie, he became like the villain in the movie, which was kind of weird because like there was times they saw him, but he wasn't attacking. He was like hiding in the distance and stuff,
He
and it's
actually
like
hid from the blast.
yeah, it's
That's
like I don't know, it was kind of weird, man. Like they made him
excuse me.
like instead of making him like a regular zombie, he was like a boss. You know what I mean? He was
I
like
don't know.
the villain in this movie.
Well, that's what. Remember what I was saying? That kind of bothered me because they, like you said, they did that whole blast on the town.
Yeah,
He actually hid on the side of like a building or whatever was an alleyway,
yeah.
and
And
the
the
other
fire
ones
didn't get him.
normally wouldn't do
Right.
that.
Or even when he sees his son across the street, they would normally charge and go
Yeah,
after him, but for some reason he didn't. He went and hid and like or like disappeared, whatever.
he was like thinking strategically, like
Yeah, and he kept popping in like throughout the movie. Like after he turned, he popped in a few times, and then at the very end, he's there again. He attacks Scarlet. He ends up killing her in the stadium, and then attacks his son. He bites him, and that's when we know that the son isn't can't can't turn, and he then's finally killed. But I didn't really care that they kept bringing him back like that.
yeah,
Like you know what I'm saying? Like I understand it's the father and it's supposed to be like a big character and stuff, but I mean, if you're telling me that he's a zombie or whatever these things are, and they naturally just have this rage and they attack, then why is this one thinking so like logically, and why is he like hiding like he's like a like a soldier or something? You know what I mean? He was almost like a slasher villain
yeah,
where he kept just like disappearing around corners, like he did that a handful of
yeah.
times. It
That
was
I
kind of
didn't care
weird.
for.
Yeah, I mean, I understand they wanted to make him last long, but then they should have done it a little bit differently to make if you want to force that idea, because it didn't fit with the whole rage virus aspect. Because everybody else that turns goes crazy and they start running after anybody
Yeah,
and
him.
anything that's
He was
moving.
actually like
He did it a little bit.
strategy
He did
thinking.
it a little bit, but there were certain parts like it was like for the plot, like the
Yeah,
story, like they were purposely making these things happen when it was convenient. You know what I mean? Because there was times where he was acting crazy like all the other ones, but then there was other times where he was just like waiting and like hiding. It's like that's not what they do. These
yeah.
not that's I mean maybe if he was the walking zombies maybe, but not these. They're not supposed to do that stuff. But that's just a minor gripe. But it was still a pretty good movie. I still enjoyed it. Um, and then it's cool because then you see they kind of show like a tease because you see the Eiffel Tower and you see these things running like towards the Eiffel Tower, which means that the virus obviously got further
But
than
they
England.
never. It stinks because they never made like a
They never
a
did.
follow-up. I was kind of excited when we watched that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. I was like, they're gonna like continue this, but they never did.
I wonder what they would have called it. First one was 28 days. This one was 28 weeks. So 28 minutes, 28 hours.
28 seconds apparently.
Another 28 days. What would they have called it?
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't know. But yeah,
28
so
months.
yeah, well, that would have been long. That's over 2 years. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, they you know, so it's just they just kind of tease to show you that it does end up affecting at least Paris anyway. We know that much. The virus ends up spreading over there
So this movie's 12 years old.
already. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, all in all, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I still think I might have. I think I kind of liked the first one though, just because the first one had it was just, in my opinion, like simpler, and it was just them trying to survive the outbreak. Whereas this one, you have more of them not just surviving the outbreak, but also the army and
Yeah.
like the stuff that the army does. And it just seems like this one was bigger budget for like effects, but it was just almost like the zombie stuff was like secondary. It was like
Yeah.
they kind of told the story with the father in the beginning, and that took up a decent chunk of time because, like I said, there's only a little over an hour and a half. So probably the first like I don't know 20 minutes is the father's story there. Then it's like them kind of like
Yeah, I
like
could, I
coming
could
back to the
understand that.
town. I mean, coming back to the city, trying to make everything work. And then you have the zombie stuff happening in the middle, but there's also the military stuff happening, and it's just like great quick action scenes like the like when what's his name's in the helicopter there Flynn, he's in the helicopter and he chops a bunch of them with a blade of the helicopter
Yeah.
while they're in the field. So like there's cool like action scenes and stuff like that, but the thing is it was just quick and then it kind of just like goes to the end. Whereas with the other one they definitely like focused on the whole survival of the zombie stuff, and that's what I really liked about the first one was that they wanted you to feel that loneliness. They wanted you to feel that like these people are really trying to survive through this like creepy, just almost abandoned or lifeless city,
Yeah.
and except for these creatures, obviously. And with this one, it wasn't really like that. I felt like they were more like it was in there, but I felt like this was more like they were trying to survive from the army.
Like I said, I have my gripe with how quick they turn,
Yeah,
but I love this movie. I've always had like a favoritism towards this movie for some reason. I liked the first one.
yeah,
I liked it, but this one I favor.
yeah. I mean, like I said, this was a good movie too.
Yeah.
I tend to favor the first one a little bit, but this one was fantastic too. Very good movie. Very happy.
Yep.
I think it was good for day 28.
And it matches up with our day
It
28.
matches with day 28. Yeah.
Just to let you guys know, I unfortunately have to work the day before Halloween. So I unfortunately won't be able to do a movie. I haven't missed any of the movie nights. I know that I missed a few nights because I was very sick.
But that was only with the video.
Yeah, with the
You-
video,
you
but I
still
still did watch
watched
the
it,
movie.
yeah.
The only day I'm going to miss, unfortunately, is the day before Halloween, which is the 30th. Because I have to work overtime, so.
Maybe we can just double up or something.
Yeah.
So that way you can kind of get that last one.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, that's all I have to say about the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, guys, thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
Please like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one, guys.
Have a good night.